You're now listening to Heights Out in Charlton with Theo Gervais and Boss Lady J. Only on GMT Radio every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Charlton.
And we do. You're somebody's substitute teacher. That's what you look like, Coach Cooper and shit. The spoon bang and everything. You hear me? Oh man. So we went from one legend to another. We went from DeLorean to the magnificent Paul. Wow, check in. Holla at your folks right quick.
What's up, baby? Happy to be here, man. I ain't gonna lie, this is the greatest show of 2018 so far, man. This is the best one.
We 7 days in. We
Man, let's say that one more now.
Yeah, we're gonna set the trend. We're gonna set the trend. We're gonna keep replaying that comment.
Yeah.
We'll play that. Okay. You know. Hey, we recorded that.
Hey,
We got Power Wow in the building, man. We appreciate you, bro, for stopping by.
Hey, thank y'all for having me, man.
Man, it's
Thank
a
y'all for
pleasure.
having
It's a
me.
pleasure, man.
Is the Houston sound that we know back then? Is it still the Houston sound? Because I go to showcases all the time. I hear young rappers. I hear really good music coming from Houston. It's not particularly the Houston sounds, but there still are guys.
Honestly, it's
So is
all,
the Houston sound still the Houston sound?
it's all from perspective. Even if you look at when we came out, at that time, there were people doing other styles of music, other people in Houston, than what we consider the Houston style, quote unquote. At that time, there was people that were putting out music that was like East Coast-ish,
Right,
Atlanta-ish,
Yeah.
Southeast-ish, more like Miami,
Well,
that area.
we didn't address
But-
it as a Houston sound.
Right. Well, mostly for the most point, because they weren't, the people that were doing that weren't as successful as we were. So we got a lot of the publicity and the attention of this being a Houston sound. But it's always been there where Houston has been diverse and it's representative of just whatever's going on in music. And we've always had our own world. Regardless of what the rest of the world is doing, we got our own world, and I think it's still like that. Where the Houston sound to me, like of what I like to think of the Houston sound: Fat Pat, DJ Screw, Screwed Up Click, Wreck Shop, Swisher House, all of that. SPM, that era of music. That's what I think of as the Houston sound. It's still there. A lot of there's still a lot of people putting out that kind of music.
Yeah.
Now the mainstream of Houston is kind of went up and down or whatever, just because as artists we haven't had too many representatives out there on the forefront in the mainstream. And when we do, a lot of times we don't claim them till it's too late. Sometimes we don't want to claim somebody till they on their descent, and that's how we start representing for them. But it's hard for us to champion somebody on their way up, because it's the same here as it is everywhere else. It's not like
Because
we got
I keep seeing stuff like
It's just-
Atlanta's got it figured out. Houston is
Well,
crabs in a
like I
bucket.
said,
I don't think it's that bad. Is it that
This
bad?
right here is all perspective. If you go to Atlanta, they're gonna tell you, man, we ain't got it figured out in Atlanta. We need to get it together like y'all do in Houston.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
go to Florida, they're gonna tell you same thing.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we would stick together like y'all do in Houston. If you go to New York, they're gonna tell, because this is what they tell me. They tell me, Slim, all this is what they tell you. When we go to New York, they tell us, man, I wish our artists in New York would get
Right,
along
perspective.
like y'all get along.
Other people from the outside look at it and they value what we have going on here. How a person
And I
like
didn't know that.
how artists like Power Wow can survive
Right, because that's the only thing they see. That's what they
this
see.
long.
They don't
And
see
an
that
artist like
other
Slim
line.
Thug can survive, sustain this long, and be on a level without being on TV every weekend or every night or something like that. So the perspective is what I think was most valuable.
I honestly had no idea that the other coasts look at us and are
Man.
like, damn, Houston.
Every other city thinks, there's not one city who looks at us like we ain't together, except
Man.
us. We
That
the
ma-
only ones, and
I'm
we
glad
like,
to
oh,
hear
we
it.
need to get it together like them. But they all want to be like us.
I'm glad to hear it.
It's tough though, man. Like I said, man, in the post, man, I be trying not to. I don't like when I say things like, man, we need more CEOs. I don't want to offend nobody. I don't be wanting to step
It's the
on their
truth,
toes
though,
and
Paul.
offend nobody.
Yeah,
But there was something that just was on me, on my heart for a while to say that needed to be said. Because as artists, a lot of us have never had a CEO to even know that we need one. But I've had man, I was blessed, man. My first CEO ever in the game, Mad Hatter, he showed me so much love. He was all the way 1,000. He never, he kept it so real with us. it just changed my whole perspective. Before that, I was trying to get everything I could get out of the rap game money wise, and from then it changed my perspective to know it's not all about money. And even then, it's not all about me getting money. It's about the squad getting money. You know, you look at somebody like a Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy built his empire by taking advantage of artists who didn't know no better. I'm not saying he wrong from that. The artist wrong for signing the contract. Every contract I signed wasn't favorable in my way, but you know, I signed it, so I got to deal with it. I got to accept it. I make the bed, I got to sleep in it. A lot of people sign their contract and they get mad, don't want to live up to their end of the bargain, but ain't nobody put a gun to their head to make them sign it. So, you know, but you see what Diddy had. There's a lot of people like the Locks. They used to always say Diddy was messing them over out their money. There's all kind of artists that, you know, they are frustrated with Diddy saying it, whatever, you know, but that's the contract. Exactly. A lot of this, to get ahead, you got to take advantage of somebody else who don't know the game. Absolutely. So me as an artist, me as somebody who's been in the game for a long time, I could take advantage of every single producer, artist out here, sign them to me, do whatever. I could maybe even put them on, blow them up, take advantage of them, and get all their money. They're not gonna know no better because I'm getting all money every different which way that they don't even know exists. And I could get on like that, and take advantage of them, but I would have to take advantage of somebody else, and I can't live with that. I can't. What am I gonna say to them 5-10 years from now when they realize I done messed them over? I can't look them in the eye, and I'm being a stand-up person. I'm not that type of person, but that's what we need. We need a CEO. We need not just one. We need several CEOs who have the vision and the mind to take the charge and lead it and put it together. Not just somebody who's a rapper being the CEO too. You know, because that's what we got. We got a bunch of rapper slash. We don't need no rapper slash. We need CEO. We your job to be CEO.
We got Paul Wall in the building. I've been rocking with Paul Wall since he had the cornrows and the braids. Since he was buying his sister Nina a Versace skateboard and shit. Fucking with Bruce Salt on a Lake Charles loop.
Yeah,
man. So let's get into some music.
Yeah, baby.
Let's get into some music, Bobby.
Let's go, DJ Bobby Bands, bro.
Right. You got to like just
bounce backs over setbacks, just what it say. That's what it's about, man. Just bouncing back from your setback into some motivation music, inspirational music, type, you know, just some struggle music in there. We all went through a lot, or we all know somebody who went through something with the hurricane, and that kind of just, you know, directed me into the direction I was trying to point me in the right direction of where I'm trying to go with my music at this time. Is just, man, we all going through something, we struggling with it, but you gotta bounce back. You know, that's something that a lot of people overlook or forget, that bounce back, man. I'm just here to remind you, man, you gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, man. It's a rainbow at the end.
Yeah,
it's a rainbow when you come out that storm.
100% of people get setbacks.
Yeah.
Not everybody bounces back.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I remember growing up having like a lot of older homies that would like have a slab. You know, this is just an example. They might have only had one slab, and then something happened, they got in a wreck, or got stolen, or you know, new cars came out, something happened, but they ain't never get another slab. Sometimes I call them the one slab wonder. But, you know, and we all like, sometimes we think about the glory days. Remember back in high school or college, or our glory days was a different era for each one of us. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we refer back to that. But you know, the one slab wonders, I'll be like, man, why you ain't never get another one? What you waiting on? Get another one, man. I just wrecked my car a couple months ago. Brand new, wrecked it. It's gone. But guess what? I'm finna bounce right back. You don't see me in the streets turning heads. And so that's just one aspect of the bounce back is the car. But you know, the cars. But you know, I'm just here to encourage and just push people, man. Keep pushing.
The funny thing is, we were talking about before you came here how 2017 kicked a lot of people's ass.
Oh yeah, man. The Super Bowl, a lot of people lost a lot of money in that Super Bowl too. It was. If we look back at the whole year as a whole, man, it was a crazy year from, you know, just everything we experienced with the World Series, with the Super Bowl, with the hurricane, with the election. You know, it just everything all together, just where we at in our society. It just was a hell of a year. We all just, I think, as a country and as a world, we ready to, you know, get our shit together.
And now, is Squad Goals gonna be on?
Yep. Yes, sir. Shout out to my boy Zay Tobin, produced that. Squad Goals is definitely gonna be on there. That's another one too. And that song in itself,
I like it.
A lot of times, like if you just look up the hashtag, I was looking at this earlier laughing, man. You look up the hashtag Squad Goals, man, you know, it's all type of things that people, that's their squad goals. But my squad goal isn't something materialistic. It's not like, you know, of course I want us to all pull up in slabs, but that's not my squad goal. My squad goal, even though that is the cover of the single, that's the single cover, but the squad goal for me is for, you know, it's not a physical thing you can have, it's all something you have inside you. Are you honorable? You know what I'm saying? Do you stand up for what's right? Do you give props to people and pay homage to those who deserve it? Do you give back? You know, do you take care of your family? Those are the squad goals I want. As long as we all on the same accord, all the people on my squad, we all at different levels of success in our life or struggles. You know, we all experience setbacks and bounce backs at different times. But as long as my squad all is in the same accord in our thinking of, you know, where our heart is at, you know, where our faith is at. Although we might have different faiths, we all have faith. You know, so it's things like that where we all, you know, our squad. The squad goals is a little different. It's not a possession thing. It's a mental thing.
Squad goals, if you listen to it, man, it's a low-key instruction book.
Yeah.
It's a low-key instruction book on how to win. And the funny thing is every time we get one of these Houston legends, and when I say legends, I don't mean old. I mean, you've done it before, you're still doing it.
Still doing it.
That's what I mean.
I'm gonna give however long I've been doing. I'm 36 years old. I've been doing this, you know what I'm saying, since I was 17. I got down with Swisher House. I was on my first Swisher House mixtape in '99. I was 18. So, you know, but I was rapping before that. But just since I got down with the Swisher House, that's kind of like when I kind of entered the record books officially. You know what I'm saying? But I've been in it for, you know, since then. I'm gonna do it. I'm 30. I'm gonna do this another 36 years. I'm gonna do this until I'm in the grave. I'm gonna be up here at GMT Radio doing interviews. I'm gonna be promoting my CDs. I'm gonna keep putting the music out because I got a message and we got important things to say. Like the song "Squad Goals," loyalty, integrity, honor, all those things. It's just something that people just don't talk about. They brag about having, you know, money or sleeping with girls or being people brag about reckless things, about getting drunk and how many drugs you can take. But, you know, you brag about how much money you can waste on bullshit, but you don't brag about having loyalty and integrity and honor. People don't brag about those types. I don't know why not. But actually, even the song concept itself, it actually, man, to be honest with you, I got my song World Series Grills, but before I did that, when the Astros was in the playoffs, this when I made this song. This really was the first song I really made the song. I was inspired by the Astros. I went to the Astros game in Minute Maid Park, and you walk around the stadium, there's different signs. One of them says loyalty, another one says honor, another one says integrity, another one, you know, they're all type of things. And I was like, man, you know what? That's my squad goals right here. And just to see, you know, and at the time, this is before we won the World Series. You know, we wasn't, you know, we kind of had a pact where all the rappers was like, we're not just with the Astros, but with all our sports teams. We're not making no more songs till we win it because we keep jinxing them. So, you know, it was like, okay, I really made the song, but I was like, man, I really ain't say nothing about the Astros other than I shouted out Dallas Keuchel and but other than that, I didn't say nothing about the Astros. But I you know, you gotta listen to, you know, I did have references. You know, I'm talking about dropping the top. I'm talking about Minute Maid. I'm talking about, you know, even though we won it all, the haters still jeer. But I said that before we won it all, but they still talking down. We won it all. They still talking. So a lot of things I'm saying in the song, they are related to the Astros or baseball, but you wouldn't even know it just because it's bigger than that.
You're now listening to Hype South Child Time with Deals Gervais, Boss Lady J, only on GMT Radio every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.